Hello, everyone. My name is Arthur Brown III, and most people call me Trae. I am a graduating senior software engineering student at Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm originally from Omaha, Nebraska, a graduate of Omaha Central High School. So, today I just want to talk to you guys about my journey into software engineering and how I became a software engineer at Microsoft. So, right now, like I said, in my senior year of college. I'm just finishing up like my last few classes and doing senior year stuff. But I just want to talk to you guys, like I said, about how I started out, like what sparked my interest. Then I'll tell you guys about how I prepared to like get internships and also prepared to like enter into college with prior experience, which definitely was a major advantage for me. Um, and then once I talk about like how I prepared um, to enter into the software engineering field, I'll talk about the importance of math and also the importance of like problem solving skills for this discipline. And then after that, I'll talk to you guys about what advice I have for you in terms of how to prepare yourselves like as high school students and what you can do to like put yourself in a really good position as a student right now. And I'll finish this off, I guess, with just talking about like my internship experiences and what I expect my full time experience to be like once I go to Microsoft. So yeah, starting out, my initial interest in technology started with web development actually. So it wasn't like traditional programming, like writing like Hello World or like a Python or Java program. However, I was working on building websites, and this was like building websites for myself, like just for practice, and then also I eventually started to build websites for different organizations and also eventually businesses as well. And the reason that I think I really enjoyed web development and still do to this day is because like it allowed me to take a concept that I had and had planned out and developed and then convert it into something tangible that people could see and use using technology. So like that part was like really cool to me. I really enjoy um, the creation process, and I feel like web development allowed me to do that, and that just kind of pushed me to want to explore the technology field further. So once I had like that initial interest, I just wanted to continue learning more. So I started by taking some classes at high school. I took Visual Basic, and then I also took classes at Metro as well, Metro Community College, and I took JavaScript and I also took C Sharp as well. And I would just say like these classes just helped me solidify my base programming skills, which um, these base programming skills, such as like taking input, understanding data types, understanding variables, loops, things like that, they're very transferable, I would say, between languages. So once you learn one language and feel confident in it, you can really start to pick up any other language and just start coding as well because a lot of the constructs will be similar. The main differences will be in how things are expressed in the languages from a like syntactic standpoint. So that just means like there's going to be different keywords that you may use to create a variable in Python as opposed to C sharp or C++. So yeah, I would say like yeah, I took some classes and that just kind of allowed me to solidify my base skills, and from there I just wanted to continue like building projects and learning more. So I got involved in some extracurricular activities such as I was in the Gallup Get Hip program, which was responsible for like exposing students that were in high school to like technology as a discipline, and then more specifically like developing software. So in that program, I got to work more on web development, but also on full stack. So that just allowed me to like not just build out like the what you see on a website, but also like databases and interactivity for websites. So that means like forms and allowing users to click on a button and something cool would happen. Just things like that are some of the skills that I learned when I was part of the Gallup Get Hip program. In addition to the Gallup program, I also did some like hackathons and personal projects as well. And I would say like just this extra initiative on my part definitely helped me feel like more confident in knowing that I could build out projects from scratch and also it strengthened my like collaborative problem solving skills as well, because it's collaborative problem solving is a big part of what engineers do on a day to day. So that just means like working with your peers to fix issues in your code or in your product that you're developing, and then also being able to communicate why you chose a certain solution. That's like a big part of like what it means to be an engineer, like what happens on the day to day. So I was super grateful for those experiences, and it definitely set me up for like what I wanted to do today. Um, in addition to like those extracurricular activities, I also want to talk about like schoolwork and like specifically like the importance of math and problem solving to becoming a engineer. Math is important. It's just that most degree programs will require you take from algebra through usually like a calculus 2 or calculus 3, and then in addition to that there's usually like some theory classes that you'll have to take as well. However, this is not indicative of like what most engineers are doing on a day-to-day, so you won't really be using like math and like writing complex formulas or calculating integrals, those types of things. Instead, it's going to be just problem solving, really. Like you'll be working with the team to figure out like what's the best way to solve this business issue, and how do we want to do that, like what technology do we want to use. That's really like the main day-to-day of an engineer. And so yeah, I just wouldn't let, if you're not really a big fan of math, I wouldn't let that discourage you. I would say you definitely need to be solid in it, in terms of like really solid in your algebra skills, and then obviously do your best up through all the courses that you would have to take as a like software engineering or computer science student. But don't let it discourage you if it's not something that you're super passionate about. You can definitely get through it, and it's not going to be like what you would have to do every day as an engineer. One last thing I want to talk about is just like how you guys can prepare to enter into the field. So I would say, one, definitely, like I said, get solid in your algebra skills, because algebra is a big part of programming, and it's going to help you think more logically when you're looking at code solutions. I think there's a strong correlation between people who have strong algebra skills and people who can be really great programmers, because the two disciplines are so interrelated. A second thing I would recommend is for you guys to learn a language. There's lots of great tools out there to do this, such as Code Academy, W3 Schools, and Udemy as well is a good paid option. But I would definitely always recommend the free stuff first, because there's so much out there. You just got to be willing to put the little time in to make a Google search and check it out. So in terms of learning a language, I would recommend Python, just because it's very beginner friendly, and it's easy to pick it up and start programming quickly. And one last thing I would say in terms of how you guys can prepare is to, once you've got a language, make a project. So find something that's interesting to you and build it. That's really the best advice I can give, because when you're working on these projects, that's when you'll learn what you don't know, and also you'll learn what you do know and what you enjoy as well. So get solid in your algebra, learn a language, and then build a project. And lastly, I'll just talk briefly about my experiences like as an intern. Once I interned at Gallup, and then I also interned at Microsoft since my freshman year as an engineer. Both of these internships were super great in terms of like giving me actual experience on the job, like what it's like to be an engineer or to develop software. And as I said before, a lot of it is just problem solving. So working with the team to come up with a solution for whatever your business problem may be, and then developing it. Like that's really the baseline of what you'll do as an engineer. So obviously there's various tools that you use from company to company, various languages that you may use, but the idea stays the same, in that you're gonna be given a problem that your company wants you to solve, and you're gonna have to work collaboratively with your team to solve this. And as I said, like Gallup, it was great. It was my first internship, and it exposed me to what it's actually like to like work on a ticketing system, which is just used to keep track of like bugs in your code or things that need to be worked on. And also it exposed me to working collaboratively, which I hadn't really done in a professional environment for coding. So that was super great as well. And then onto my like experience at Microsoft, that was also equally great. I got even more experience, and just the same as Gallup, I also was able to meet a lot of great people and work on some projects that were really cool as well. And I was also, lucky enough to get an opportunity to come back full time, which I'm super happy about. And yeah, it's software engineering. It's been great for me. I really enjoyed the problem solving aspect of it, and I hope you guys got something great from this video and something that you can take to become a better software engineer. So, wish you guys the best. Talk to you later.